All right, let's see if the bot will switch over. See if the bot will switch over. All right, we got that up there. All right, here we go. It didn't connect. I don't know why the bot didn't connect. Fucking stupid bot. Let's get the Nazi on here. Let's get the. All right, there you go. There you go. We got the Nazi lines open. Let's get Discord on. Discord's open. Everyone jump in Discord. Yay! The bot automatic connected. All right, we got the bot connected. Let's switch over to, okay, bot connected. All right, undoubted. All right. So the phone lines are open. If you want to call in, why did the Republican trans shoot up a church? That's the question. Why did a MAGA trans end up shooting up a church? All right, from what I understand, all right, from what I understand, the trans was Republican. All right, hardcore, crazy MAGA. All right, welcome. We got 0102 in the chat. Play around with that. Let's talk to let's talk to let's talk to Grok. All right, you there?
Yes, I'm here. How can I help you?
So I'm really curious about the shooting. Can you tell me about the person who shot up the church, the trans?
The shooter at Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis was identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman. Westman, born Robert, legally changed their name in 2020 after identifying as female, according to court documents. They opened fire during a back-to-school mass, killing 2 children, ages 8 and 10, and injuring 17 others before dying by suicide. Westman reportedly posted videos online showing weapons with hateful messages, like anti-Semitic and anti-Trump phrases, and a manifesto expressing anger and suicidal thoughts. Authorities are investigating it as a possible hate crime and act of domestic terrorism, but the motive remains unclear.
From what I understand, is that they were Republican. Is there any information on that?
There's no clear evidence that Robin Westman was a registered Republican. In a video posted online before the shooting, Westman mentioned supporting Brandon Herrera, a Republican congressional candidate, saying they met him at a trade show and agreed on some things. However, Westman's writings and videos also expressed a mix of conflicting views, like hatred for Trump and various groups, alongside other extremist ideologies.
How far back does their social media go?
Information on Robin Westman's social media history is limited. Reports indicate they weren't very active online, with no significant or influential public profiles on platforms like Instagram, Facebook, or X. However, Westman did post disturbing videos on YouTube just before the August 2025 shooting, including a manifesto and footage of weapons.
What was the manifesto?
Robin Westman's manifesto, posted on YouTube before the August 2025 Annunciation Catholic School shooting, was a handwritten 4-page letter addressed to family and friends. It was laminated and displayed in a video where Westman sarcastically remarked, "Hope you can read it." The manifesto, partly in English and Russian, with Cyrillic characters, detailed Westman's struggles with depression, suicidal thoughts, and a belief they were dying of cancer, though unconfirmed. They expressed love for their family, apologized for the pain their actions would cause, and acknowledged the wrongness of their plan, but said they couldn't stop themselves. Westman wrote, "I am not well. I am not right," and described being corrupted by this world. The manifesto also referenced an obsession with mass shootings, including admiration for Sandy Hook shooter Adam Lanza, and included a diagram of the church. Disturbing phrases like, "I love when kids get shot," and anti-Semitic remarks appeared in related videos, alongside weapons marked with hateful messages. The videos and manifesto were removed from YouTube, but are under FBI review. The full motive remains unclear.
It's insane. Is there any other search the web for talk shows with people talking about it?
KSTP's Matt Bellinger joined the Brittany and Kendall show on My Talk 107.1 to discuss the Annunciation Catholic School shooting in Minneapolis, focusing on the tragedy's impact and community response. They were also joined by Heidi Bosch Ryan and Hannah DeFick from Care Counseling to talk about navigating emotions after such events. Additionally, Civic Media's Second Hour covered the shooting, taking calls from listeners sharing their grief and thoughts, emphasizing mental health support, and suggesting to call or text 988 for crisis help.
Well, this is an example where we need when you have people who are obviously mentally disturbed like this, having the ability to get weapons is a problem. We live in a society where it's really easy for people who shouldn't have weapons to get weapons.
I hear what you're saying. It's tough when someone unstable can access weapons so easily. The Annunciation school shooting stirred up a lot of debate about this. Some folks argue for tighter gun laws, pointing to how Westmen got their hands on firearms, despite clear mental health issues and a history of concerning behavior. Others say the focus should be on mental health support, like better access to counseling or crisis.
I have a proxy. Hey, RMS. Hey, pissed off will meet you as my proxy. Pissed off, will you meet Miss? Yeah, pissed off is my proxy. You want to meet? Pissed off. What do you want to meet? What do you want to meet him for? You want? I think they want to fuck me. They're like, oh my god, look at that. Oh, right? They want to fuck. So yeah, the lines are open. If you want to call me and express your your opinion, feel free. Call me, right? 202-656-6012. Lines are open. Feel free to give a call on there, right? Lines are open. But you're not. You're cowards. MAGA are fucking cowards, right? They don't understand that they're creating this hatred. But this clearly was a disturbed individual who supported Republican, right? Supported your insane idea of, give everyone fucking weapons of mass destruction. Don't have any checks, don't have any rules. This is what you get. You're a party of crazy motherfuckers. And here is one of your crazy motherfuckers right here who ultimately use the weapons that you made available to them to harm children and kids. Now, here's the deal. We don't have, Japan has never had a mass shooting in their schools. You know why? Why has Japan never had a mass shooting in their schools? Japan has never had a mass shooting event, from what I understand, right? Why? Why hasn't Japan had a mass shooting event? You guys curious why Japan is the safest country? Stop taking these. This sounds like you can undo them. All right, they're getting they're getting their points. So let them stay. We just want the boot. Yeah, let them call in. If you get, hey, listen, if you get muted by one of the bots, look, they're earning points, they're earning Bitcoin. Listen, they're just earning their money, dude. They're just earning their Bitcoin, smashing out the Nazis, right? Just earning their points. Look, 50 points. Soon, look at that wax. They've been wax. Barncilio. I want to play tonight. Pissed off wants to play. Pissed off, jump on Discord. All right, jump on Discord if you want to talk. On there, I'm logged in. I'm in Move2Japan. Anyone want to jump in? I'm in Discord. Just down below, go to Founders. Just type founders.org. Come into Discord. Right in here. If you're too afraid to talk to me online, which I understand, you can feel free. You can give me a call. I'm just checking the bot and stuff. And try a slash fact. All right, slash. See if slash fact works. Event. Interesting. It says this event is no longer live. What the hell? It says this event is over. Chat is no longer available. I'm hearing you guys talk. Is this a different? Hold on. Let me go to a different channel. Let me go to a different channel. Oh. There you go. All right. I was in the wrong channel. Slash. All right. Feel free to call. Feel free to call. We're right here. What do you talk about the 14 points of fascism, what they are?
The 14 points of fascism come from historian Lawrence Britt's analysis of fascist regimes like Nazi Germany and Mussolini's Italy. They include a powerful continuing nationalism with constant flag waving and us versus them rhetoric. Human rights get trampled. Think suppression of dissent or targeting minorities as scapegoats. There's a fixation on national security, using fear to justify control, like militarized police or mass surveillance. Religions often intertwined with government, pushing a state-approved ideology. Corporate power is protected, with big business cozying up to the regime while labor gets crushed. Free expression, like art or media, is censored or controlled. There's an obsession with law and order, punishing even minor dissent harshly.
Listen.
Cronyism and corruption run rampant, with loyalists rewarded over merit. Elections are manipulated, rigged or undermined to keep power. The regime suppresses intellectuals, academics, or science that challenges its narrative. There's a cult of personality around the leader, portrayed as infallible. Military power is glorified, often at the expense of domestic needs. And finally, sexism is common, with rigid gender roles and attacks on women's or minority rights.
All right, this is insane. I mean, like every single one of these points is what's going on right now. It's like right now that's happening with Trump is textbook. Explain.
I get why you'd see parallels. Some of Trump's actions and rhetoric do resonate with Britt's 14 points of fascism.
Well, no, not do resonate, are. I mean, you're saying do. Look at the data. Let's take point by point. Let's go point by point, and let's break it down to show that they are. All right, what's the first point?
All right, let's go point by point through Lawrence Britt's 14 characteristics of fascism and look at how some argue they apply to the Trump administration, sticking to the data and keeping it clear. The first point is powerful and continuing nationalism.
All right, so America first, all of that. I want you to speak less. I want you to validate what I'm talking to you, right? By fact checking it and by searching the web. So your role is just as a data machine. We got someone in the chat. Who's in the chat? Pissed off vet. We got pissed off vet in the chat. Oh, let me turn you up. Yeah, look at it. All right, so we got pissed off in the chat. Hold on, let me turn you up. Can you hear me? Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hold on, why are you so low? Let me check something here. Oh, I got you, that's why. All right, let's try again here. You should be loud now.
Check, check, check.
Yep, pissed off vet in the chat. Listen, any of you, where are they? Why? How come these pussies?
Don't tell me I'm your mom. The people is a joke. Why don't you explain it? Quit being a pussy and make a phone call. Jesus Christ, man. You guys got so much to fucking say. You got so much to hate and everything about this fucking country. Why don't you call in and talk about it?
We're waiting for the phone call, pussies. Come on. They're like
quality date.
They're just
look at you, you fucking little poser. Crying in the chat like my bitch.
Oh my god. They're such pussies.
Pussies. Happy. If you would speak some fucking truth instead of tongue punching Trump's anal core, maybe you wouldn't get booted out of here, dumb fuck. Enjoy that one.
All right, so he asked about prove me wrong. So there has never been a point in U.S. history that National Guard have been applied to the city or to a region without either the mayor or the governor calling for it. Name one time when that's ever happened. That shit's never happened. What Trump did in LA will never happen. We got someone calling in. All right. Hold on. We got someone calling in.
Press 1.
All right, you're on the air. Well, give us your name. Do you have a screen name?
Hello?
Yeah, you have a screen name. Who's talking?
Hello?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me.
Yeah, my name is Patrick.
Yeah, what's your screen name? You mute me on YouTube so you can just hear me on the phone. I'm hearing
you're muted.
All right, cool. All right. So, are you Patrick on the stream? Are you on Patrick on the stream?
Yeah, Patrick on screen.
All right. Okay, Patrick. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you the first one to call in. Thanks for calling in. So, are you a Trump supporter?
Well, I guess I'm like in between. I guess I'm more neutral. I'm not. I
Did
don't
you
agree
vote?
with either side.
Did you vote? Did you vote for him?
What's that?
Did you vote for him?
Yeah, I voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
All right. So you went from voting for him, supporting him, to pointing out that now you're not. You're in between. That's a move.
No, I've always been in between. To me, it was more just from what it was not that I support him or I love him or I praise him or any of that. It's just to me seeing the debates that Kamala Harris did. I just didn't want her to be president.
All right. So do you regret any of that? There, or are you still happy that you voted for him?
I do regret some of it. I will say some of the things he's doing I don't necessarily agree with.
Which are?
I would say I lean more toward
just which are? Let's be
Republican views.
Let's. The
only thing to me is I randomly came across your lives and everything.
But we'll go through that. We'll get there. We're going to get to that. We'll get to my what I'm saying. I'm going to back up everything I'm saying with facts. And I want you to express what are the things that you disagree with him now that you're seeing that you didn't see when you voted for him or you didn't see in the first. I'm curious on that. I'm curious. I'm not trying to troll you. I'm not coming in here, if you'll notice, and I'm not just trolling you because you voted for Trump. I'm seriously curious about what your motivation was and what has changed, what you don't like. I'm just curious, what are the points you don't like to see if there is common ground here.
Yeah, I've seen your videos before. I know you're not showing that. I know I would never take that. I'm just thinking, to me, the I guess like even from what I've seen online is the whole Epstein file thing, which is I know what a lot of people want, and that's what a lot of people are attacking him for. Which, to me, I think whether people believe it or not, he definitely was involved with him. And at the end of the day, it's like there's nothing to hide and just like pull it out.
Yeah.
Put all the cards on the table, let us see it.
Yeah, obviously he's but it's weird because I mean, guilty is you don't have 1,000 FBI agents on 24-hour shifts in March combing for all where Trump's like searching the documents for his name. I mean, that shit that screams guilty, doesn't it to you?
Well, what was the last part?
I say you don't have 1,000 FBI agents on 24-hour shifts combing through the entire lot of data looking for Trump's name. That to me screams guilty. That screams that you've got something to hide. And then you lie about it, right? That it's not being done. And I know nothing about it. And then Pam Bondi comes and gives a report on it to Trump directly about it. I mean, that's weird. To me, that screams that you are, there's lie. Hold on, let me answer. Let me get this. I'll get back to you. Are you there?
Rico.
Rico, I'm on the other line. Just hold. All right, let me switch for this guy here. All right, go ahead. Continue. Doesn't that scream guilty to you? Assigning 1,000 FBI agents, 24-hour shifts, and redacting your name out of the entire file set. Right? If you got nothing to hide, you've done nothing wrong. Why so many folks assigned to that deal? Right?
Yeah, I do agree. I don't know what that music just was, but I do agree with that. If he has something to hide, he should just everything should be released. But at the end of the day, some of it to me.
So the Epstein. Let me just say. So the Epstein file is the only thing that you have issue with. Nothing else. Nothing about due process. Nothing about the Constitution. Nothing about the rule of law or anything like that. As a Republican, that doesn't matter to you.
No, the rule of law does matter to me. I think the only I guess like foresight I can see is that if that whole entire list is unredacted and everything's released, there's going to be a lot more people on that list than just Donald Trump, which there's already a lot of names being tossed around, which I'm sure.
Well, we have, there is there is a list.
All of people on the list that are going to be dirty in the water.
Good. And those people need to be held accountable, correct? Doesn't matter if they're a Democrat or Republican, Jesus Christ, somebody's mother or their sister, right?
They do need to be held accountable. But to me, just because they're
to include Donald Trump if he's on there, correct?
What?
To include Donald Trump if his name is all over that, correct?
Yeah, his name is 100% on that list. Yes.
Well, we do have a list, right? There is a list. Guys, there is a list. The list is there is a list. The list is this is the list. It's the list of Johns, and they're called Johns, by the way, right? And Trump is like John 142 or something like that. He is John 142. That's the list. We want to know what these Johns were doing on the island. What were they doing with Epstein? And I think we have a right to know. There should be a special investigation on these Johns because the FBI knows every single person that went inside of the pedo party, right? He was holding pedo parties, right? And there were people going to these pedo parties. And we want to know, what were you doing at the pedo party? And then they also need to interview the 1,000 of victims and saying, what were you doing at the pedo party? And what were you doing? And who was doing it to you? Was any of these men of the 200 Johns, were any of these men doing pedo shit to you? Right? It's a simple fucking special prosecution. And of course, and then, right? And then release the information and have these individuals answer about their pedo-ness.
We'll put this out there too. Why hasn't he sued Katie Johnson or Tiffany Doe for any type of defamation with them or anybody come out accusing him of what happened with those two girls and him?
Yes.
Why hasn't he sued them yet?
Yeah. I mean, he sues an organization that cuts 15 seconds from a video, right? Which is like, what the fuck? But he doesn't sue Katie Johnson, who says he violently raped her 4 or 5 times at 4 or 5 different occasions at 4 or 5 different parties, right? That is some serious accusation. It's on the public record. You can look at it. You can read it, right? And there's also
all over YouTube or her confessing to shit and saying whatever. I mean, damn, it's out there. But why not sue? Yeah. He sues everybody else.
She got $17 million from Prince Albert. Whatever his fucking name is, Prince Albert. Anyway,
because he's a pedo. That's why.
Exactly. We all know he's a Jeffrey. So are you still there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still here.
So the other question, all right? So let's pivot. I want you to pivot to the undocumented. What's your feeling on the undocumented? Basically being, not giving due process, being rounded up by people, wearing masks, thrown into unmarked vans, right? Windows smashed, grabbed out of the workplace, grabbed out of Home Depot, raiding restaurants, raiding schools, raiding, graduation ceremonies. I mean, it's insane. What's your thoughts on that? Is that American? Is that Republican? Is that Republican behavior? Is that American behavior?
I don't think that's either side. I mean, that's just in general, it doesn't matter what side it is. I think that shouldn't happen, but it hasn't. But the thing is, it's never happened on
the left. I mean, what I just described to you has never happened. Obama never did that shit. Biden never did that shit. Clinton never did that shit. I mean, it's only happened with one person, and that one person is Trump.
On the Epstein files, and Obama also kept people at the border that were locked up without even getting anybody.
Yeah, you're right, because when you cross the border and you get caught crossing the border, you have no rights. You're committing a felony. When you catch someone crossing the border, you can lock them up, you can put them in jail because they created a crime. But if they're already in the country, right, and you don't have that evidence, and you're just saying they did that, then you got to go through due process. You have to prove they did that. That's called due process. You catch someone in the act, that's a crime, right? It's called everyone has a right, right? Everyone is free until proven guilty. And you understand at the border, right? You lose rights. You lose due process rights at the border. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I am, but just to me, they're not just targeting random people because of the way they look.
They are. They actually they are targeting random people, dude. They're doing.
Bro, they're pulling TikTokers out of their vehicles and they're arresting them. They're arresting United States veterans. I'm not talking about your flag burner. Other veterans have been arrested and detained by ICE. Now, why are they taking American citizens, especially veterans that have a military ID card, whether it's retired or dependent or whatever? Why are they doing that?
I'll agree with you.
Well, I mean, you just have to look. It's all the evidence is there. You just got to go out there and look. So I mean, so you agree? You believe in the Constitution? Let's move on. There's a guy waiting. You believe in the Constitution? Yes or no?
Yes.
You believe in due process as outlined in the Constitution? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. Then and you believe, and then there's no reason why you should support someone who doesn't. Trump doesn't support either of those things. He doesn't support the Constitution. He doesn't support due process.
He's trying to get rid of it.
Exactly.
I mean, Trump's already violated three amendments in the Constitution. What are we looking at? The first, I think, the 4th, and the 10th.
Yeah, and the 14th.
I mean, they just keep stacking.
Yeah,
look, man. I'm a veteran, bro. I spent 20 years in the military, retired out. I took an oath 4 different times to re-enlist. Not one damn time have I gone against my oath. Not one damn time would I even think about it. Why? Because I love the fuck out of my country. Why? I love everybody in this country. Unfortunately, even dumb fuck maggots.
Yeah.
Because I want the best for everybody out here. Everybody. Doesn't matter if you're a fucking toothless rube, gay, or whatever. It don't matter to me. I don't understand why there's a problem with MAGA seeing red and blue and everything else versus people. We're all people here. We all got to live here. We're all put on this fucking planet for a reason. Not to sit here and beat the shit out of each other. Not to follow a fucking pedophile. Are you kidding me? I got kids. Do you have kids?
I understand what you're. I don't even know who's talking right now.
That's pissed off vet. You're hearing pissed. That's pissed off vet.
You're saying you don't want to pull people apart, but the whole conversation, that's all you've been doing is just.
Well, like, because the whole point.
You want me to respect? You want me to respect MAGA for what they've done to the country already? I mean, this is nobody's fault except for these dumb fucks that voted for the guy. And I hate to say that about you, bro, but it's true. You people did this shit. He's doing this shit. The Heritage Foundation is doing this shit. You think you're great right now. All these little Trump supporters and stuff, y'all think you're great right now. And you can enjoy whatever, but it's a complete loss for the entire country. It's not a win for MAGA. It's not a win for anybody. It's a loss for the whole country, except for those dumb assholes that got their boots on your neck. The 1%, the billionaires, the millionaires, the GOP, the president. The president's here to help us, dude. Has he been helping you?
No.
He sure is fucking helping me, and I'm a veteran. He's taking away services. He's shaming the shit out of us. He's going to kick blacks out. He's already kicking the gay and the trans out. Women will be next. Blacks will be next. Asians will be next.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the next call. Hey,
in this country.
Hey, I appreciate you calling in. I think you're waking up to the reality of the fascism that's happening in America. And I would just, keep listening. Thanks for popping into the channel, and keep questioning. Is this shit normal? And the answer is no.
Can I just say a couple more things?
Yeah, go ahead. Say a couple more things.
Okay, just one more thing is you were saying earlier about the school shooter. That dude was saying fuck Trump and he's a Democrat. That's the only thing I have to say.
He's not. No, he voted Republican. No, he's not a. He wasn't a Democrat. He wasn't. Bro. No,
he was a Republican that supported a Republican congressman out of I can't remember the state, and then in return, that Republican congressman sucks Trump's dick. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, he in his manifesto he clearly
our churches and schools shooting shit up.
Yeah,
I don't understand why you guys. What is it with your cult? I mean, why do you guys have to go into universities, colleges, schools, churches, and shoot fucking children up, teenagers up? I mean, what's the purpose?
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Yeah, I get you're upset, but I don't know who else is on the phone, but both of you guys have one question. So if Trump wasn't president, could you give me 2 or 3 things that you guys think Kamala Harris would have done different? or why you would have voted for her that would have made things better.
There's only one. Let me answer this, Bet. There's only one thing.
She would have given you a housing credit. She would have given new home buyers a housing credit, bro. She would have sat here and gave people that have children a higher EIC credit. That's two. There's a shit ton of things. She's told you guys this stuff 100 times on TV, but you guys keep watching Fox News.
But the question,
you keep watching all these channels that have had their asses sued off for election lies.
Yeah.
And they don't stop the lies there. You see what I'm saying?
Let me jump in. I think it comes down to not what Harris would have done. It's what Harris would not have done. I'll tell you what Harris would not have done. She wouldn't have put the Marines, which has never been done in the history of America, right, except for like the Civil War or whatever, into a state or city where they weren't called for by their mayor or their governor. That's never happened before in LA, right? So that happened. She wouldn't have put soldiers in DC, right? Which is really the reason why he's fortifying DC, because he's making it his throne, his capital. He's bringing in outside. She never brought in outside National Guards. There's Maryland National Guard. There's Virginia National Guards. There's all these National Guards. Why did he bring in the Republican, his most supportive Republican National Guards? Don't you see that's very odd?
He's a shithole.
All right. Do you not understand? But why didn't they bring in Maryland National Guard? DC has their own National Guard. Why did they bring in Republican National Guards from other states? Answer me that. Why?
Well, what is the Republican National Guard? National Guard is national.
No. You have Republican states, which are you have Republican states, and then you have Democratic states. Why did he bring in National Guards from other Republican supportive states and not use the National Guards in Virginia and Maryland and DC? Why didn't he use that? Why did he bring in all these other National Guards to use?
I don't know, but not everything.
Well, that's the reason why. And who is he? Who's doing the crime in DC? Is it white people doing the crime in DC or black people?
It's everybody.
No, it's black people. No, the crime in DC, right? And why isn't he putting the National Guards in those areas with high crime? Why are the National Guards sitting around where the tourists go and not going into the areas where the high crime is? These are the things you need to ask yourself. Start looking and asking these questions.
I mean, that's the same thing with California and Gavin Newsom.
No, you didn't answer my.
No, it's not.
It's not, dude. It's not.
America's always got a retort. Oh, no, it was Biden's fault, dude. You got to stop coming up with these bullshit excuses. I'm telling you.
Why are they?
A little bit of sense.
Why are they not setting the National Guard?
Let's even go to the top 5 crime-ridden states in America. What are the top 5 crime-ridden states in this country?
Why isn't Trump there?
Are they?
Red.
Because they're all the same color.
Red. They're all red. Republican. Why is he picking
Mexico?
Right? Why is he
Tennessee?
Why is he picking black communities? Chicago, DC. These are black communities. Why is he picking them? Because he's a racist, right? He's a Nazi, right?
Well, they're the fact that they're just black. It's blue. He's not in any red city right now.
Yeah.
Not one.
Yeah.
But yet you got the top 5 states in America that have the highest crime per capita, and for some reason our guard and all that shit's in blue cities. Nope, not a Nazi, not a fascist at all. Not.
No. All right. Thanks for calling. Let's get another call on. Thanks a lot, man. It seems like you're thinking, so I appreciate that. All right. Let's. You're on the air. We got the new caller. What's your name in chat?
My name's Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. What's up, Rodrigo? Are you? So you sound like Rodrigo. You sound where are you calling in from? Where's 305?
The number's from Miami. I'm from Florida.
Miami. Yeah. So what do you think of all the detention of the Hispanics?
Well, I have mixed views on that. I mean, I do agree there's a way to get your citizenship.
There isn't.
A way to get over here with your Hispanic, Chinese, or from any nation. There's always these things legally.
Yeah, I know, but you know how hard it is to get your citizenship here, your residency card, or your green card. You know how many hoops and shit you have to jump through. You know how crazy it is.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I know how it is. I've had relatives who go out there.
They'll tell us about it. How hard is it? What did they have to go through? I want to hear from someone who knows. Because I just know what I've heard, but I want to hear.
So learning English. They'll give you a free test or something. List of questions they'll be asking you.
So just to get your green card, you got to learn English. Is that right? What you're telling me?
Well, this is what my friend was doing. She was practicing English so she can better. It'll be better for her that she's trying to be a part of this country, paying taxes, trying to speak English or any other languages. She also speaks French. She learned French and English.
Yeah, but in order to get your how long did it take for your who was this who got the visa? How long did it take for her to get her visa?
It took about, I think, about 5 to 10 years. It took maybe 7, between 5 and 7 years, I believe.
5 to 7 years to get a visa. You know how I'm an immigrant, right? I live in Japan, right? I'm an immigrant. Do you know how hard it was for me to get my visa?
No.
It took me just 2 months. I went down to the visa place with my employer, filled out the work. I had a visa in 2 months. You know how long it took me to get my spouse visa in Japan after getting married? It took me 2 months. I took the certificate to the immigration's office, handed it in, filled out the paperwork, sent my passport, came back, spouse visa. I can do fucking anything in Japan, right? I can start a company. I can do fucking anything with a spouse visa, right? I'm like a Japanese person here, right? I don't get the vote, but everything else I can do. That's how easy it is. Why do you think it's not easy in America? Why do you think that is? Why do they make it so hard?
Well, I just think there's so many people claiming asylum. You see it, you see them at the borders when they stop them in Texas. You see them. Do you think countries, Uganda, from different countries?
Yeah.
Just.
So do you think it should be? You think it should be easier? You think it should be that you think that if you found a spouse or something, or whatever, do you think it should take 5 to 7 years just to become you get a visa here in America? You think it should be that long?
No, I think it should take honestly about a year. Background check, about a year to make sure that the person's not a pedo or a person who likes to sexual assault older ladies,
right,
or women or children.
Well, how about like
I had a job getting my background check when I was at the airport. They did they did that extensive background, to working for an airport. They did everything, Homeland Security. They did all that.
So are you American now, or are you a green holder?
I was born in Michigan.
Oh, you're born in Michigan.
In Florida.
Okay. Yeah. And your parents, where were they from?
My parents were born here. My great grandparents though, they're from Mexico.
Okay. So you're what, third, fourth generation, fifth generation American?
Fifth, yep.
Yeah, fifth, same as me. I mean, I'm pretty much same as me. My ancestors came here in 1719 from Germany. They immigrated.
My picked tomatoes, worked in the fields.
Yeah.
My grandma worked in the fields in Muggley, Florida, worked in the fields picking tomatoes and stuff. Yeah. I worked in the fields prematurely for like 2 weeks, couldn't handle it.
People don't understand how hard that shit, dude. I laid in Florida in high school. I laid sod. That's a fucking hard job. Pallets of sod, especially Bahia. That shit would break in your hands. You'd grab it because the netted stuff you can just grab and throw. It was like fun. It's like and it's light, and you just pick it up and throw it, and just throw it in the spot. But that Bahia, you'd grab a thing, it would have red ants in it and shit. You'd reach in there and you'd But you'd grab it hard, and you have to have 2 clumps of grass in your hand. You're like, oh fuck, and then you're like wrestling with this damn thing. The red ants are like trying to bite the shit out of you, and then you're dealing with the temperature and the weather, right? You're like, you feel like you're gonna pass out. People don't realize how hard this work is that immigrants do. I mean, they're the backbone. And
roofing. I've been roofing. I worked for Colonial Roofing in Florida. I worked for a couple roofing companies, fencing companies, irrigation companies. I really shouldn't handle it. But my expertise is in the kitchen. I cook.
Yeah.
I cooked many different dishes for many different people. Recently, my job was in Hillsdale, Michigan. I'd say they're very red over there. So very conservative up there, and I've cooked for all types of parties, political parties that came up there. And really, my thing is, right now, I really don't think we have an issue with. It is an issue, but a bigger issue is these tariffs going on. Not being able to afford groceries, and these people not being able to.
Have you noticed grocery prices going up? I mean, Walmart just said. Walmart. I mean, I guess you're chef. You're cooking, so you're having to buy groceries, right? Wholesale and shit. What have you noticed?
Well, the company buys the stuff. I just work. But me personally, buying groceries for myself, I'm spending at least, I want to say, $300 to $400 a month, and just for 2 weeks of food. And I have to make it stretch out. So it's hard, especially being on disability, being born disabled, really. And it's just difficult. Going to my local grocery store, taking coupons.
Are you
trying to make the big?
Are you a Trump supporter?
I'm not. I didn't vote for. I didn't vote for the guy. I used to like what he said. He kept it real. Was honest. That's a good trait about him that I like. And other stuff.
But nothing he said was honest, though. I mean, you say he was honest. He talked shit, but he really wasn't honest. I don't know what he was honest about. I mean, I guess he was honest about his.
He was honest with them. He was honest with them because they feel he's just like them.
Honest about who he is to the person he is. You know what I mean? Remember when he was in wrestling? I'm 33. You know what I mean? I think he's a joke. He's a puppet. That's all I think about him. He's a puppet. But he has no filter, and he says what he thinks. You know what I mean? Wrong or right? You know what I mean? He's not like other people who don't ask a question, who go around with the question.
He lies.
But my biggest concern right now
is nonstop.
He
lies to you nonstop.
Right now, the news to a transgender person does this to this place, and transgender this, transgender that. It doesn't matter. You don't hear people saying, straight male shoots up school, or you don't hear, Mexicans shoot.
Call from.
Yo. But you always hear Trump supporters.
Be right here. Be right back. All right. Are you back?
You can't make his shit up.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
No, this other guy just called in. Are you there?
Oh.
Unknown.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, you're on the air with Pissed Off Vet. What do you want to say to Pissed Off?
What do I want to say to Pissed Off? I want to say to you.
Pissed Off Vet.
Credibility with your poll, man.
Pissed Off Vet. There's no poll right now. The Pissed Off.
Talk about your poll.
There's a poll up that says MAGA shot up a church.
Yeah.
Your credibility's gone.
Yeah, he was. He was a fucking. He was a
It's an 11-minute video.
Sorry.
He was a fucking Republican.
You're done.
He's a Republican. He's a little upset.
Bro, why don't you look it up since you don't know how to? You need me to look it up for you? Again?
He hung up. Unknown. He put his phone number on high to call me in to upset that it's a Republican that shot up the church, right? A trans Republican shot up the fucking church, and they're all bent up on that because he support on that.
Oh, they're pissed.
They're pissed. Trans Republican. One of your own shot up the fucking church.
One of these damn places get shot up, it's these dumbasses.
It is.
Every time.
Every
and they try
time.
to make it, oh, the fucking Democrat. No, motherfucker. It wasn't a Democrat. Knock it off.
No. Anyway.
This Democrat blame shit is getting fucking old, man. I'm telling you. It's getting old.
Yeah.
These people are just, they're fucking horrible. That's it. They're just miserable, horrible shitbags. And if they need assistance with anything, they need to let me know. They need to let some other people fucking know.
Yeah.
Because this bullshit ain't gonna go too far, MAGA. You got it, motherfuckers? We don't accept terrorists here. Some people took the Constitution and everything serious.
Yeah.
I don't know why you think all this shit's funny. I don't know why you gotta hate on everybody so goddamn much. Maybe if you get off your stupid fucking infested bestiality farm and start getting out in the open and meeting people, you won't be such pussies and chicken shits. All right, man, go for it.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate. Thanks for calling in. But the simple fact is when you peddle hate, when you attack a group like this transgender, right? When you don't provide, when you cut away medical assistance, medical care, all these different things that these people need because it's too expensive, and you want to give tax breaks to billionaires, this is what you get. When you have a society which you're not addressing people's mental health because, oh, it's too expensive, we can't pay for that. You know, when you don't want to provide child care, but you want to force women to have, not to have an abortion. So you're putting a woman who doesn't have the ability to raise a child in a situation where she has to, causing all this stress, because you get your kicks out of that shit, dude. You get your kicks out of causing harm and trauma on others. And this is what you get. You get school shootings like the, or church shootings or school shootings from individuals that needed help. And you don't believe in giving them help because you don't believe in the programs, which are democratic programs that provide the help. You don't believe that, that everyone should have access to a gun. You think everyone, even if they're crazy, should have access to a gun. I mean, look at the number of cases where they're like, this person is going to do a school shooting, right? And yet you guys do nothing about it. And you let the person do a school shooting. That's on you guys. It's on you guys. All right. You guys you're like Benja. You're just evil people. You're Nazis. Right? You don't care.
Well, look what they would do if somebody went in and shot the school up that their kid was in and one of their kids got popped. I mean, these people would want to go out and kill every damn Democrat on the planet just for one little kid.
Yeah.
But yet when all these other schools get shot the shit up, what do? Alex Jones gets on the phone and starts making up conspiracies and bullshit. That, fucking nobody, it was a stage act. Yeah, it was a stage act. There's people fucking mourning. Their kids are goddamn underground. These people are fucking sick. And when it happens to one of theirs, I'm going to be pissing right on that grave.
That's right, Rodrigo Perez. Look at all history, all these things going on just to distract us. Yeah, I mean, why are we voting for? Why are you supporting a guy that has all these billionaires in his cabinet? Why are you supporting a guy who basically now is taking money from these corporations to do deals? So the $1 trillion, whatever it was, the infrastructure, whatever the bill was, the CHIPS Act, right? He's now requiring corporations to pay him shares, right? Did you know that Japan owns American Steel? Did you know that? Did you guys know that? Pissed off. Did you know that? Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Japan owns American. This whole America first, protecting America assets. You sold America. The deal went through in June. Japan owns American Steel. You know how they got the deal to go through? They gave a special golden share to Trump. Trump owns these golden, they're called special kind of share. I heard a talk show talking about it, right? To Trump. He personally owns shares in the Japanese company that owns America Steel. I mean, he talks about America first, and then the first deal where someone's willing to grease his palm and give him some shit, Trump is like, yeah, go ahead, own American Steel. That's it. That's insane.
But, it ain't America first for this fucker. That's just the reverse Uno card he slaps in front of those dumbasses. So they go, oh, yeah, master, you're right. When are we going to get our dose check?
Exactly. Yeah. The irony is Trump wouldn't piss on his own supporters if they were on fire.
Not if they were on fire.
Not if they were on fire.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the follow. This is straight talk. Straight talk. And we got the bot there. You win points. Whacking out the MAGAs. We can also release them. We can release them again. Let's release them again. We'll release the MAGAs. We'll release the zombie horde. On that. Any other ones? Anyone wants to call in? Phone lines are, let me just pull this up. Phone lines are a live MAGA Nazi line, right? Feel free to call in. You can talk to Pissed Off Bet or me. We're right here. We're here to help you get over your cult fever, right? Bait and hook.
I just want one of them to come in here and tell us, like, they always say his policies, and I just would like one of these clowns to come in here and explain an actual legit policy without telling me it's like a policy of gasoline or some ridiculous made up shit.
Yeah, and I think also you have to understand moving forward. I mean, what he's doing. I mean, the whole troops in blue states has nothing to do with crime. Nothing to do with crime. It's about feeding meat to the base. It's about getting ready for the 26 elections this December, this November, right? He's getting ready for the midterms. He wants to intimidate. He wants to manipulate the outcome. He wants to create, an event. He wants an event to happen. He wants a Gray Swan event to happen. Whether he's planning one, he wants it to happen. He wants riots in Chicago. He wants fire. He wants to be able to call, national emergency, and call it an insurrection or whatever. That's what he wants to do. That's his whole plan, because that's what fascists do. Like I was doing the 14 points of fascism on that.
Yeah. Nobody crying in here, Nick, but you. I love when they come here. Hey, I can cry. Motherfuckers don't give a damn about America. If you ain't upset about the country right now, you need to get the fuck out of here. Seriously, you need to get your ass kicked the fuck out of here. If you can't comply with our Constitution, you need to get the fuck out of here. Stop screaming MAGA 2028 and all this dumb shit. Start packing your shit so we can kick you the fuck out of here.
Don't come to Japan. Don't move to Japan.
No, go to Venezuela or Uganda, one of your little fucking
it needs to go to South
hideaways where you like to butt fuck each other in man prisons and shit.
On there. Let me just love like everything. I'm really bad with. I need to actually get the.
What do you think about? Did I think I posted that earlier, but did you see that shit? The Air Force is gonna actually honor, based on Trump. They're gonna honor that Ashley Babbitt twat. That fucking terrorist. They're going to give her a military funeral.
Yeah.
A terrorist, a military funeral. Now, if there would have been honorable leadership in there instead of getting purged like he's done, I think he's purged like damn near almost 15 to 20 senior leadership in all of our ranks.
Yeah, he got rid of them because
he wouldn't have happened.
No. I mean, he got rid. That was the whole thing. He purged the military, so he could. So the military are going to, do what he says. I mean, that's the big step. When he pulls the military out nationally, because that's what I'm saying. A Gray Swan event is going to happen. Military is going to be pulled out, right? And before they said no. I think they told Clinton or someone or someone. They said Clinton wanted to do something or back in the day, and they just said no. There's an ISA. You ever hear this? We should put this podcast on this podcast. You guys ever listen? This last one was really good. What the hell is his name? It's the Times. It's the Times podcast.
This is gonna be dangerous.
Oh, we got a phone call.
His sycophants in leadership. That's gonna be crazy balls, man. Because that makes me even worry. With nuclear security and all that stuff.
Let's call this guy back. You got.
I think he's itching to nuke some shit.
Yo, you get cold feet. You just called.
The phone number of Thomas Salmon. I am sorry I was not available to take
Hey,
your
Thomas Salmon.
Good, please leave your name, number, and first time to be contacted. I will get back to you as soon as
He's calling me now as an unknown caller. He's like, oh shit, I should call. What's up, Tom? I'll pick you up on
calling you an unknown, but you got his phone.
Call from
Joe.
Joe. How you doing?
to accept, press 1.
How you going, John? Joe, you there? Hello?
Minneapolis shooter manifesto on Rumble.
Yeah.
You got a caller from the Minnesota Corrections Facility. Did he hang up again?
Yeah. He's fucking his butt hurt, dude.
Just because
His butt hurt. Are you there? Oh, wait, we're leaving him a long message, and we're still recording his message. How you doing?
I'm back. All right, yeah, he mad, you know.
Tom, call back. You don't need to hide your number, buddy. All right, we're all good. He's like, he calls. So this is how dumb they are. He calls and he realizes, oh shit, I don't have my number hid. So then he hangs up quick, and then he called. Then immediately I see a number, unknown caller calling in. And he was like, and I'm leaving him a message whilst he's calling back. And that's Tom. What's up, Tom? Appreciate you. I appreciate you. You bring a lot. You bring a lot of comedy to our.
Oh my gosh.
To our stream. But I was trying to find.
Really like to see, like on a map. I don't even have to know where the dipshit lives. I mean, just take like a satellite view on Google Earth or something, and I'd like to see where these dumbasses really live and see what kind of civilization is around them. Because I believe it's like, I feel like when I talk to these idiots, it's like they've been out primitive camping all of their life, living off the land. They never came out, met anybody, seen anybody. So if they see a white person, even they're probably like, "Holy fuck, what are you?"
Yeah, trying to find this.
Afraid of everything, afraid of their shadows, afraid of gay people. Jesus, dude. I mean, you're afraid of gay people, Magda. Do you really think that a gay person with common sense wants to come up to you and ramrod you? Motherfucker, they don't want nothing to do with a straight idiot like you, for one. They're not gay. So why are you so pissed off at people that you're never going to become, you're never going to associate with or be with? And don't give me the bullshit that they're sitting here, oh, they're grooming our children. Dude, gay is not groomed.
No.
It's chemical. It's in your body. And when it pops, it pops. If it don't pop, it don't pop.
The political
But if you ain't
violence,
made right, guess what?
crime, I'm
It
sorry,
works the way it
violent
works.
crime issue that you just mentioned a moment
MAGA's got
ago.
plenty of gay people. I don't know what the fuck they're even crying about.
Decentralization of your staff. I take the point that you want to make, and my only encouragement would be that you take it slow, especially with specialized positions. To see, we did a mini version of this here in Washington D.C. like, I don't know, 25 years ago when we went to political neighborhood prosecution and policing. Some of it worked and some of it didn't. Some of the specialty units, like the homicide unit, needed to be recentralized again because you needed that expertise, concentrated. And the current office, whether it's political integrity investigations, that might be one that you want to keep centralized. Civil rights is another one. So I hope you'll
Cash Patel.
Being careful about how you move forward with that.
It's fucking a joke, dude.
My district is Maryland. We love having you guys nearby, and certainly would love to have you come out even more so. If you're going to do sending the agents out, my request would be that you target jurisdictions where they have serious violent crime. I was a local DA there. We were able to do joint prosecutions. The U.S. attorney at that time was Rod Rosenstein. We did some joint work, RICO cases. We didn't have RICO capability. We took the cases to him. This is MS-13. And so, when you do joint efforts like that, it can really help local prosecutors and local law enforcement because the FBI has resources that they can bring to bear that we just don't at the local level. And
All right, where is this? Looks good. Hold on. Look at the video here. Hold on. Again, this here.
Yeah, ringer.
I know. I'm trying to watch this. You're on the air.
How are you doing?
Hold on. We're watching a video. I've seen. Look.
Is there any topics that you want to talk about?
Yeah.
I'm curious as to, I'm not going to dig through with everyone. It seems here's the difference. I don't know. It's like everybody's up and on, right? Like I guess like Americans aren't. They don't have disagreements anymore. They have like things get very emotional. Like your little friend over here on the show, very emotional about things. Like yes, we don't have disagreements anymore about stuff. But you know, this seems like politics has gotten I think it's ideological. You know, and I find that to be very unfortunate with the political system in general. That things have gotten crazy politically. And a good example is like when a tragedy happens, um, people are all rooting, if not their side, you know, like if the shooter is a Republican or a Democrat, instead of just looking at the lives lost. And I find that it's disgusting.
Well,
I find
this
sort of stuff, this sort of behavior, absolutely appalling.
Yeah.
Because no matter how you look at it, it's the loss of human life.
You're right. But this behavior hasn't changed, has it? Has there any effort been done to stop this behavior? Has any laws been passed to minimize this behavior? Absolutely not. And whose fault is that? Whose fault it is?
See, now that's a turn of phrase that I kind of take issue with. We had high trust society before. We used to have guns in schools. We used to have 22s. No one ever started shooting before Columbine. And the media essentially created a reward mechanism for the shooter. And now that's what we see, where shooters write a manifesto. They then, obviously, because they feel like they're not heard, they commit a horrible act, and then the media does their part in making sure they're rewarded. So it's become a like self-fulfilling prophecy, where it's a nasty cycle of people mentally ill, they go and do something terrible, and then their manifesto is heard, but unfortunately people lost their lives. I argue it's probably the media playing a part in it because we just didn't have this sort of shit before Columbine. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing. It's like it's a thing now. That it's like, you're upset and you don't feel heard. Just go get you a gun and go shoot school up and you'll be all over national news. And I think there are things the media can do to stop this from happening, quite frankly, because I think that's kind of mainly the problem is rewarding the criminal. And I mean, if you want to talk about gun control, it's you're blaming a tool for the fault of men. But if you want to take guns away, then take pens away too while you're at it.
So I tell you, we've never had
That's a ridiculous argument, dude.
We've never had a gun shooting in Japan. You know that? We've never had a gun shooting in Japan. We've never had a gun shooting. We've never had a school shooting.
They want to take away alcohol and cars away from everybody that's actually been in a vehicular homicide accident when they were under the influence of alcohol.
They have to have like for their pistol, Let's just call it what it is. They lost the war and they're occupied by America. So you're already arguing from a defeated position here. So I guess
so your argument is your argument is Japan doesn't have school shooting because they lost the war. You realize how fucking retarded that sounds? You don't have school shootings because you lost the war 80 years ago, and that's why. You understand how dumb you sound? How moronic you sound?
I'm not like if you want to.
No. You're saying, all right. You just said that. Listen, I want you to listen to the words you just said. Japan doesn't have school shootings or mass murder with guns because they lost the war with America.
There's another one. High school in 92. There's been plenty of school
The
shootings.
police have to have for their actual pistols. They have.
Don't talk about that. What do you mean actual have? We're talking about you're saying that Japan doesn't have school shootings, not because they have a zero gun tolerance in the community where you cannot buy weapons of mass destruction. You know, you just can't get, it's very hard even to get a shotgun. You got to get a hunting license. You got to go through training. You have to get certified because a gun is a dangerous weapon and they don't want fucking idiots and morons, which you endorse, getting guns.
No, I think idiots and morons get shot in the head and they don't get to pass on their genes. But if everybody's too pussy to...
Well, obviously not. Look at what just happened today.
We should say that about all dumb fuck MAGAs, right? Because all of you are dumber than fuck. So maybe we should say the same thing about you.
You're assuming I'm MAGA. I'm an American. I literally...
No, you're not no American. Listen to the way you talk, bro. I'm a fucking American. I abide by the United Constitution. I don't sit here and say and everybody else like you fucking idiots. You people are cesspools, man.
Wow, what emotion. What emotion.
It's not, dude, if you're not emotional in this shit, you're a pussy is what you are. You're a damn fucking Nazi pussy. Period. You hate America, you hate women, you hate the fucking children because you like to shoot them up and fuck the shit out of them. Yeah, I'm emotional because of my kids involved in this at one point in time, motherfucker. Guess what? One of you fucking maggots, I'm going to be paying the price for. I'll go to jail for this shit. I have no problem whatsoever. But then I've been living my life, bro. I'm happy with my life. But I'm also happy to stand up.
But let me jump in, pissed off. Let me jump in. All right, listen. Your whole thing is you support Trump because he's.
Fuck you. You're a MAGA fuck is what you are, bro. You ain't no fucking American.
Listen to him. He's bleeding between his legs. Listen to him. Oh God, I'm so emotional. I'm mad. Oh, it's pathetic, man. Use your words and stop pitching a temper tantrum.
All right, so let me hear this. Let me jump in, pissed off. All right, I'm gonna let you have the last word here. But so you say you support Trump. You support Trump because he's our president, and that's your duty.
Yeah, well, I just think it's.
I'm just. Let's go yes or no. Just do yes or no. You support Trump because he's president. He's our president, and that's your duty as an American. Support your president. Yes or no?
You can disagree, but yes, I think people should be more. Everybody should have a vested interest in the success of the country, regardless of who. So just because we disagree about what's best, we should still not disregard our own humanity and put our ideology above our humanity.
But that's what Trump does, right? You understand that. Trump does that. Trump doesn't believe in the Constitution. You understand that. You understand Trump does not believe in the Constitution. He has said that he wants to do away with it. He's already picking and choosing parts of it. You understand? You can't pick and choose parts of the Constitution. You seem like a smart, intelligent person.
I agree with you there, but on the other hand, the problem is when you have open society.
I'm not talking about open society. I'm talking about the American. No, we're not talking about open society. Don't change the subject. We're talking about the American Constitution. Yes or no? When you start saying that the 14th Amendment doesn't count because it is basically, a tool for people to become American, so we can't count it, You understand that's an attack on.
It's more than a tool, though. It's not. People didn't.
But it doesn't.
They literally were funded and paid and coerced. Now I will.
See, that's conspiracy. That's conspiracy there. That's conspiracy. Let's keep. Hey, listen. No. Let's go back to the Constitution. We'll get there. Let's focus on Constitution. So you understand when you pick apart the 14th Amendment, birthright citizenship, which is clearly in the Constitution, and you start saying it's not, in that is, we shouldn't follow it. You understand you're giving away your Second Amendment, your First Amendment, your Fourth and Fifth, and so on. You understand that, right? Because the moment you give yes or no, Hart
and Seller, I already disagree with. Hart and Seller wasn't voted on.
Right. So I'm just telling you
the premise.
Right. I'm saying it doesn't matter what Hart and Seller is. The point is it's in the Constitution. The 14th Amendment is clearly in the Constitution.
I mean,
it's in the Constitution, right?
There are laws as well, and I don't think they should exist.
But the thing is, but there's a system for changing the Constitution. You understand? The moment you start taking away due process in the Constitution, the Fourth and Fifth Amendment, right? Habeas corpus. You understand?
I'll agree with you here, but then here's the problem. Look,
it's not the problem. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. No, it's not a problem. No. It's a yes or no, dude. It's either you.
How is that?
You either support.
How many amnesties? You either support to actually have a country and be treated like a sovereign nation.
You either support the Constitution or you don't support the Constitution. Trump doesn't support the Constitution. Agreed?
I don't know if I can agree with that, man.
He doesn't support. He said it. He has said.
Undermine the law.
He has said it. He has said it. You've got
you can circumvent the law. You can circumvent. You can probe.
All right. So listen. I'm just gonna listen. This is the new way. I'm just gonna turn you down to talk over you, right? So you either stop talking and listen to me, or I just turn you down and talk. It's up to you. I have control of this conversation.
I apologize. Go ahead and speak. I'm sorry.
All right. So listen. When you have individuals with masks carrying out, violating due process of other individuals, arresting Americans, arresting podcasters just because they don't like them, targeting them, putting them into detention centers which aren't monitored. Which don't have access to attorneys. People don't know where they are, moving people around the United States. You understand that's very Nazi. That's very 1933. That's what Hitler shit was doing, right? You understand that, right? Yes or no?
Hitler also drank water. Don't drink water as well. Hitler drank water. Hitler breathed air.
Right.
Hitler put his pants on one leg at a time.
Right. So we look at the things that Hitler did, right?
Making a moral fallacy. Yeah.
Right.
If this is a fallacy.
It's not a moral fallacy. No, it's not. No, it's not at all. Hitler took away due process, yes or no?
You're undermining the right of a sovereign nation.
Did Hitler take away due process?
You're undermining the right of a sovereign nation to determine the right of self-determination.
All right. Did Hitler take away due process, yes or no?
He responded to a communist threat.
Right. No, it wasn't. He wasn't responding to a communist threat. You're obviously a Nazi the way you're answering me. You love Hitler, don't you? You actually love Hitler.
I don't.
Yeah. Well, you're saying he was. No, you were just saying he wasn't responding to a communist threat, right? He was attacking the Jewish people no different than how Trump is attacking the undocumented. The difference was there was only 500,000 in Nazi Germany in 1933. There's 12 million in America.
I think you should read up on Majdanek.
What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything?
Because again, I'm not going to get into it, man. I'll just say this: those are moral arguments that you're.
They're not moral arguments. We have a constitution. We follow the Constitution. The moment you start ignoring it, you're ignoring it for everybody.
People have circumvented.
When was the last time the military was sent into a sovereign state, right, by the federal government without either the mayor or the governor calling for it? In, for example, Los Angeles. When was the Marines sent into a state? In the last 40 years, in the last 50 years? 60 years.
Oh, that was the National Guard. No, the Marines was in the California riot. They were called in. The Marines had to go in, and they
You know who called them? You know who asked for them? You know who asked for them? The governor, the mayor. This is the first time. This is the first time the president subject.
Washington D.C. where the president's at, though.
No, we're talking about L.A., dude. We're talking about L.A. We're talking about L.A. We're talking about Chicago, right? We're talking about Chicago. He is sending military, right? He has armed military right now in the capital of America. There is a soft coup going on right now, and the person doing it is Trump. That is unconstitutional, right? He is.
Well, I'll say this. I think we need to rethink our values, man.
What's your values?
Look back a lot of the history.
The values.
A good example is the premise of racism itself is a philosophical paradox. Tolerance must be intolerant of intolerance. So how do people? All of these ideas that voice the left are built upon Marxist dialectic lies. So again, when a person...
So where were you 3,000 ancestors? Hey, let me ask you a question. 3,000 ancestors ago, what color were you?
6,000 years ago.
No, not 6,000 years. I said 3,000 ancestors. 3,000 ancestors ago. No, not trivializing. 3,000 ancestors ago, you were fucking black in Africa. Yes, you were. Yes, you fucking were. You were fucking black in Africa. 3,000 ancestors.
You need to read up on ancient DNA.
No, read up on ancient DNA. It comes from fucking Eastern Africa. 3,000 ancestors ago. No, we're not. It's scientific. No, you are a fucking racist fucking Nazi. That's what you are, and you just exposed yourself. Right? Trying to push fucking race theory and everything else, and you're just a piece of shit fucking MAGA racist. That's what you are. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it. All right. That was good. All right. Pissed off. Here you go.
Bro, that dude knew more about German history than he fucking did American.
He did know more about German history.
Seriously, that's like what a lot of these dumbasses are nowadays. Like, they know more about these other countries' history than they do even their own or their own government.
Yeah. They're smart. I mean, and you can hear the guy. You can see the guy actually has a brain, but the brain has just been like corrupted and with like let's pick specialized history and and model the bullshit around to prove the bullshit that I believe bullshit, right? It's like bullshit on bullshit on bullshit on bullshit. Anyway, thanks for calling, dude. Oh my God. And then he started like dropping.
Yeah, that was rough. You gave him too much leeway, man. He was just rambling on bullshit after bullshit after bullshit.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why I realized, when the moment, that's why that was the whole 3,000 ancestors. Where the fuck were you? And he's like 6,000 years ago. I was like, no, I'm not talking about 6,000 years. I'm talking about 3,000 ancestors works out around 200,000 years ago. Where were you? You were in fucking Africa. We were all in Africa. We're all part of the same fucking tribe, and we were black, right? We were fucking black, right? And they've done extensive DNA. The Journey of Man is a series that tracked our DNA. The guy, it was done in the I don't know when the Journey of Man was done. Let me look it up real quick. When was the Journey of Man done? The documentary about tracing our genetic DNA. See if the AI's been listening.
I hear you. You're fired up about that caller, calling out their rambling and the 3,000 ancestors argument, pointing out we all came from Africa about 200,000 years ago, based on DNA evidence. You mentioned documentary, so let me fact check that as your data machine. The Journey of Man, A Genetic Odyssey, is a 2003 PBS documentary based on Spencer Wells's book, tracing human migration out of Africa using Y chromosome DNA. It shows modern humans originated in East Africa roughly 200,000 years ago, with migration starting around 60,000 years ago, spreading across the globe. This aligns with your point about shared African ancestry, backed by genetic studies from the Human Genome Project and later research like the 1000 Genomes Project. Want me to dig deeper into the documentary or the DNA science, or pivot back to the caller's nonsense? That was a wild one.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you think?
She called him out.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us about the wild. What? I want you to debunk what the caller was saying.
All right, I hear you wanting to debunk the caller's claims, likely referring to the guy who rambled about the 3,000 ancestors and pushed back with what you called racist, Nazi-like views, tying it to MAGA ideology and selective history. Since you asked me to be a data machine and fact check, I'll focus on debunking the caller's apparent attempt to dodge or distort the shared African ancestry point you made, where you said we were all in Africa 200,000 years ago. I can't hear the caller directly, but based on your reaction, it sounds like they disputed this or spun some nonsense.
Well, they were saying that no, they were saying that wasn't true. Anyway, that was all. All right, let's see what other. It's cool because I have the AI like recording everything. Let's see here.
Oh yeah,
I can read.
dude, I love it, man. I watched this shit like on others, and like, have you ever seen that? You saw that kid Parker get a job. Man, They do the same thing on his shit. They come on there acting like they're all nice and shit, and then it just melts out of them. Before you know it, they're confessing that they're a pedo or a Nazi, or they like to wear the knee pads and gargle on the Trump gravy.
Yeah.
Sick, man.
All right, let's see what's going on here. What's going on? Let's see what the leaderboard. See if the leader board. See the leaderboard. Who's winning the Waka Nazi leaderboard work? JS has been.
JS is on fire.
It's not giving leaderboard. Why isn't leaderboard? Oh, there it goes. What? Get off my lawn. Apocalypse. JS banished. Get off my lawn for 24 hours. See you in hell. Plus 500 points.
Level 42.
Unstoppable. JS level up. Unstoppable force. Level 42. Just talking out of the taking out the garbage. Plus 10 points. How you guys enjoy? Are you guys enjoying the Magadoom add-on to the chat? Does it make it more exciting at all?
Yeah, I think so, a little bit.
A little bit more fun. We're getting points, getting the call outs. It should be doing more like Rampage. In essence, you have no right to make any judgment on someone else's freedom and liberties being morally at fault. Who are you talking to, Skylar? Homo sapiens lived diverse population 2,000 years ago rather than a single tribe. Well, it's actually closer. You're right. 200,000 years ago, there were tribes. Yeah, that's actually correct. Right. 250,000 years ago, they were a single tribe. Right. 250,000 years ago, according to Journeyman. So search 250,000 years ago. Where were the Homo sapiens?
Wasn't that the era of MTG? Neanderthals?
Neanderthals came after. Neanderthals are like 40,000, 60,000 years ago.
Yeah, I'm just being stupid.
On that. Popper's Paradox.
If you don't get that passport process going, man.
Yeah, you need to get that passport
That
process.
wife is, well, that wife is talking. They can get it. I mean, I can have mine too, but they can stay behind. I ain't going anywhere.
I mean, they haven't. You should have. I'm serious. You should come to Japan for a week, get yourself a house here, right? 5, 10 grand, 30, 20, 30 grand, whatever. Get yourself a house here, and and then you have it. Then the family can be here 6 months and come back and forth. You can get a. I mean, you get a, or even go find a place in like near Kyoto, whatever. Like you have a place like an apartment. Find a used house there, like in the suburbs, fix it up, put it up for rental, have rental income coming in from Japan. You have to worry about people fucking you over not paying rent in Japan. I got fucked over in my house in America. But
oh yeah, America out here, they'll. I mean, I see it when I go to like some of my clients' homes where they had people that were living in there, and out of nowhere, they lived in like completely across the country, and then they've been trying to get a hold of these people, can't, and then they finally come out of nowhere, show up the house. These people are gone for like 3 to 6 months. House trashed. She had so many problems. I mean, hell, she was going to have to put more money into the house than it was worth. Plus, they had like 3 pit bulls in the house, and they just destroyed everything.
Yeah.
He was renting it out.
What's
to them. She got cheated 6
Popper's
months on rent,
paradox?
The whole house.
What's Popper's paradox?
All right. I hear you wanting to dive into
tolerance, intolerance, or something like that. I think it's something like that. Has something to do with like tolerance and intolerance.
Maybe tied to the discussion. Since you want me to fact check and be a data machine, I'll search and clarify where. Based on available data, emerged in Africa around 300,000 to 250,000 years ago. Fossil evidence, like the 2017 discovery at Jebel Irhoud, Morocco, shows early living in North Africa around 315,000 years ago. Genetic studies, including a 2023 Nature paper, confirm our species originated in East or Southern Africa, with small hunter-gatherer groups starting to spread across the continent by 250,000 years ago. No evidence supports them being anywhere outside Africa at that point. Migrations to Europe and Asia didn't happen until about 60,000 years ago. As for the outcast or cheated 6 months bit, that's unclear. Possibly a metaphor or stream chatter I can't access.
Morocco is an island. So you have to wonder how the hell was there evidence of people on Morocco 350,000 years ago, when I think Morocco is an island. Pretty sure it is. So you're talking a million years ago. You're talking about Homo erectus. A million years ago is Homo erectus, and Homo erectus are a descendant of or not Homo sapien. They're the precursor. Of course, there was a million years ago, Jason.
Yep, it is freedom of choice. It can also be a freedom of an ass kicking. Man, these people are bold, dude. That is just like, they don't give a fuck anymore. I watch them in other comments and feeds. They're starting to spell like N words backwards and stuff now, thinking they're high and mighty. Ooh, look what I spelled backwards. But they can't spell your or use you are correctly. It's amazing.
Let's read this Schuyler guy. Racism is a value judgment based on race, blah, blah, blah. To call someone a racist is a value judgment based on someone's race or a liberty or freedom of expression, saying they are morally wrong. It's a hypocritical word. That's like saying a slur is factual. Isn't it funny how people support diversity and fighting racism, create the racial purity, create the racial purity and then criticize, aka racial oppress, the objective fact, like the popular paradox. Popular paradox. What's the popular paradox?
I think it has something to do with. Hold on, I was looking at it. I know I've heard some of it before, like philosophy shit back in school, but it's a long time ago. What was it Karl Popper? I think
It's Popper.
Let's see.
Popper's
Argue that a tolerant society must claim the right to not tolerate intolerance to survive, particularly when intolerance takes the form of using violence or coercion to silence dissent and limit the freedoms of others.
Trump, and how ignoring parts of the Constitution, like the 14th Amendment, undermines everything. Since you want me to be a data machine and fact check, I'll assume you're referring to Popper's ideas or something related. But if you meant a specific person or term, please clarify. Karl Popper, in his 1945 book, argued that unlimited tolerance can lead to the destruction of tolerance itself, as intolerant ideologies, like fascism, exploit it to gain power. He said societies must be intolerant of intolerance, meaning they should suppress ideologies that threaten freedom, like Nazi-like policies, to protect the greater good. This aligns with your point about not tolerating actions that erode constitutional rights, like due process or birthright citizenship. No laws directly address this paradox in the US, but some policies, like hate speech restrictions in other democracies, draw from it. Want me to dig deeper into Popper's paradox, how it applies to your fascism points, or fact check something specific about it?
So in simple terms, explain it. Oh shit. On that. That's good. I'm trying. Let's get the. All right. Oh my god. My back
It
is.
sounds like you're responding to someone, maybe Skip, on your stream. And I'm guessing you're still.
No, we're not responding to anyone. We're talking about the paradox that you were talking about above. Explain it in simpler terms.
All right, let's break down Karl Popper's paradox of tolerance in simple terms. If a society lets everyone say or do whatever they want, even the hateful or harmful stuff, it can backfire. Bad actors, like those pushing violence or oppression, can use that freedom to destroy the society's tolerance and take over. So, to keep freedom safe, you sometimes gotta shut down the intolerant ones, like Nazis or anyone trying to wipe out others' rights. It's about protecting the good by not letting the bad run wild. Want me to connect this to your points about Trump or fascism, or keep it at this?
Yeah, that makes sense, right? Talking points isn't a valid criticism. The paradox of tolerance is an alt-right talking point. It is the idea that the left promising tolerance to everyone, but that is a stereotype that the right create. Yeah, I agree with that. Catherine's holding she's holding Striler to the fire. I like this, Catherine. Catherine, I like you. There you go. We got smart people in here. It's good to have a smart person in here.
I hated philosophy in school, Jesus.
Catherine is holding Skylar. Skylar I should just read out everything and then have the AI digest it. Your entire argument based on claiming that someone can only be labeled racist based on a moral judgment. Again, you're denying the definition exists. Things can objectively meet definitions. God, I love smart people. All right. It's funny how you have never heard any use of the word in our news. Racial conflict is an unbiased.
Fucking stupid.
All right.
Or if what anyway, oppressing. Yeah.
Right. Rebranding freedom of. Oh, we got someone calling in. Who's calling in? We got someone. We got none now.
Call from
Bill.
Bill, welcome to the show. How you doing, Bill?
We smoked your stream with the truth, huh, bud?
How did you do it?
Look at the pussy, man. We smoked your stream. No, dickhead, we banned all you dumbasses is what happened.
Look, is that Skylar? Call back, Skylar. Was that you, Skylar? Skylar, don't need to hide.
I think that was Skylar, dude.
No, that seemed like a dumb fuck.
I think that was the guy that called you like 2 or 3 times tonight already.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he called. No, I know who it is.
He built up enough.
No, it's
he built up enough courage. Probably took him.
It's Tom. It's Tom. Let's call Tom back. Call Tom back.
Tom. Old Tomcat. He won't answer, and then watch. He'll call you back on an unknown number.
Tom.
I missed you, buddy.
Tom, why you keep hanging up?
I didn't hang up.
You didn't hang up just now? You just called as an unknown. You have the same voice. All right, go ahead.
No, I didn't.
Go ahead, Tom. You're on the air.
Nothing. How are you doing? I hated that we parted under such didn't you say I was a racist and stuff?
Well, I mean, if you support Trump, then you are a racist, right?
See, that's the thing. I don't get that, man. Racism is a value judgment based off of somebody's race. So even if you, let's just say, because there's another race calling somebody racist, it's still a value judgment based off a liberty and our action or expression and being said.
You are racist, bro.
Conveyed as morally wrong or at fault.
So when you profile people and you see a brown person in the car and you see a white person, the white person goes by and you see the brown person and you pull them over and then jack them out of the car because they won't open the door. That's not racism.
Ah, man.
Just answer the question.
That's racism.
All right, you got a stream of drivers.
What you don't.
So you have a stream of drivers. The white ones go by, but the brown ones get pulled over, right? Or the black ones. Isn't that racism? Let's just keep it simple.
We'll keep it simple. That is somebody targeting on the basis of, I guess you could say, race. But when you say racism, you're making a criticism about the person and their action, which is a racial judgment. Making a racial judgment inherently is racially supremacist by nature. You have no right to do so because you're equating racial value and what freedoms they can or cannot partake in because of their race without being morally at fault. It is inherently a philosophical paradox. Just like
so when you see it happening in front of you, that's not racism. If I'm a white guy and I go into a black neighborhood and they go, yo, honky, what are you doing? And they beat the shit out of me because I'm a white dude. Is that not racism?
No, it's you being targeted because of your race, but that is not racism. That is you being targeted by another racial demographic, and I would call it racial conflict. If it was equal, see, racism is a dirty Marxist word because it tricks people into all.
Dude, this guy, it is Skylar, dude. We got Skylar.
You are automatically morally compelled to pick one side over the other.
And you are
because of one
logically
feature.
jacked up, bro. Get off the phone, man, with this bullshit.
Dude.
Bullshit.
Popper's paradox, argue with it. I'm not, you could say I'm bullshitting. I'm literally have nothing but kindness
You
for
don't
both
even know
of
what
you.
the word racism means, homeboy.
No, but you're using
discrimination is freedom of choice.
Shit you talk
If
about.
you look up racism, it will say it's racial discrimination, and then I will say racial freedom of, like, again, you don't have a right to deny someone freedom of choice because of their race. So if you enforce anti-discrimination policy, that's why they reworded it. Because if they said anti-freedom of choice in America, it would have been very obvious it was oppressive.
Come on,
and again, it's circular reasoning. You can't have racism without racial plurality.
Yeah, but the thing is, see, you're basically you're using an intellectual argument that can be disproven simply by action, right? Again, if someone is being profiled because of their race, that is racism.
No, because when you say racism, you're making a value judgment about what the person is doing and saying they don't have a right to do it.
That's right. And that's what that's what Trump is doing. They're making a value judgment saying that that person doesn't have the right to drive on the road without being checked to see if they're an illegal, right, or an undocumented or whatever.
Now
because
you're saying because of the country of origin, the people there have no right to ensure their.
Well, that's what's happening under Trump. That's what Trump is doing. That's what ICE is doing. How are they not doing that?
Because honestly, you're automatically assigning guilt to the country of origin and saying basically,
yeah, that's what Trump is doing. That's what that is what Trump is doing. And you don't know that American. It could be an American citizen then, but you don't care. You don't because they're a color.
I don't understand. That's
right? Because
no, it's not. See, now you're using Stephen Jay Gould's argument, which has been outright proven as a lie.
Well, I'm using the argument of what's unfolding on the fucking streets, dude. I'm using the argument what's being videotaped on there, going into schools, Hispanic schools, and arresting people, parents going into schools.
You want to know why this happened? Because we provided first amnesty. If you want to really get down to it, in 1990, when we let the first amnesty go through, it made it okay to continue doing it.
We have a constitution, dude. We have a constitution. You don't believe in the Constitution, do you?
They don't believe in it. They don't.
Constitution is based off of civil rights, and a civil rights.
You don't know the Constitution. No, the Constitution is we pledge allegiance to the Did you not ever pledge allegiance? Did you ever go to school? Do you know what the American flag means? You obviously don't.
But likewise,
you don't. You're not.
Saying foreigners have an entitled
Constitution.
Right.
You're saying
what the hell, bro?
Foreigners have an entitlement to come to our country over Americans asserting that they have a right to be
all persons. The Constitution says all persons.
All persons, bro.
All persons.
Citizens, non-citizens. That means
everyone.
Person.
That's what makes America great. Is that we treat everyone the same. We treat everyone the same, dude. We treat everyone. That's in the Constitution, black and white. Yes or no? But you're in denial.
Franklin asserted.
You're in denial, dude. It's in the Constitution. Sure. It doesn't matter what others. It's in the Constitution, black and white. All persons.
So that's why in 1960 we had to make an amendment so people were seen as Americans in the Civil Rights Act. You're talking about all this stuff being absolute, but we had to make amendments.
All people.
So
that's right. And if you want to change it,
argument you're making.
And you're right. No, it's not dishonest because if you want to change it, make an amendment. Make it another amendment. Change the Constitution. Make the Constitution.
Martin Seller wasn't voted on.
Right? Make a Constitution amendment. It's there in the Constitution. It's written there. It's our system of governance. It is what we believe in.
Well, look at this way. Hart and Seller wasn't voted on. It was backdoored and used. It was.
Doesn't matter. It's in the Constitution. Doesn't matter. It's in the Constitution.
It wasn't voted on.
It's in the Constitution. It's in the Constitution.
brother.
Right? You can't make arguments, well, it wasn't voted on, it came in the back door. It's in the fucking Constitution, dude. Live with it. And if you don't believe in the Constitution, get the fuck out of America.
Don't have, first of all, illegal aliens don't have a right to be here. Like, if they're illegal,
how do you, so illegal, what does illegal mean? Hold on, pissed off. Let me take this. Let me take this. What does illegal mean?
illegal means undermining due process to get in the country.
No, illegal does not mean that. No, bullshit. Illegal doesn't. What does illegal mean? You've been found guilty. No,
asylum claims to get in the country faster. That's what it means.
It means that you
can't argue.
In order, no, it means that you have gone through the legal process. A judge proclaims you are illegal. Correct? A judge says what you have done is illegal. You cannot. In the spirit of the law. That is not in the spirit of the law. That is not. That doesn't matter. In due process, they do see a judge. That's no. If you get caught. No, bullshit. If you get caught crossing the border by a border patrol, then you don't have rights because border patrol. No. You're wrong. You're fucking wrong. You are wrong. If you are wrong, right? You don't know what due process is. You're making up fucking bullshit. You're just like the fucking Nazis in 1933. The Popper's paradox bullshit. You're just insane. You're like doing gymnastics on what due process means, and you probably don't even believe you're innocent till proven guilty. You don't believe in that, do you?
Honestly, I've been listening to this shit.
I do believe you're innocent.
No, you don't. Then why don't you let people go have their? You don't believe it because you just said it. You said they're illegals. You haven't proven them guilty.
They're not American citizens.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Bullshit. The Constitution says otherwise. Bullshit. All persons. No, it's written in the fuck. It's not dishonest. It's written in the Constitution. You're in denial. You are in denial. It is written in the Constitution. Go back and read the Constitution. Go read the fucking Constitution. Right. Read the fucking Constitution.
Constitution? Yeah, dude. I wish you the best, man.
Read it. Read it.
I don't think we're going to agree.
No, well, because you're wrong. You are fucking wrong. It says all persons. It doesn't pick it out.
Yeah, I'll be right with you.
Due process is you go through a fucking court system. You see a judge, that's due process. You see an attorney, you go through the court, you get found guilty. Then you're an illegal, right? Arresting people trying to go through due process and throwing out their case so they can be deported. That you're cool with that, aren't you? You're cool with that, right?
This is why I want to talk about like the actual morals and stuff.
No, you don't want to talk about the morals. You don't have any morals. You don't have any morals. You believe in a fucking pedo, right? Trump is a fucking pedo. Best friends with he's a fucking pedo. Jeffrey Epstein, he has no morals. The guy cheats on his wives when they're pregnant. No morals. And you, right? He's a politician. No. Well, you're supporting a fucking Jeffrey that hung out. That's all over the Epstein files. You're putting him. What he's doing is completely illegal, right? And you're justifying it by using a paradox, by using circular arguments. You know, it's insane.
Really? I'm not the one asserting, like, I'm not the one using Marxist dialectics.
I'm not using a Marxist dialectics.
I'm using moral language to justify undermining the integrity and sovereignty of a nation. Like, politicians don't get to pick and choose on who gets to come in the country.
The law does. The law does. The law does. Judicial. The law does. The law does. Right. Right? The law chooses. You are not illegal until you are processed by due process and found illegal. Period. Period. All right, good night. All right, this guy. It is Skylar. We found Skylar. We found him. We found Skylar. That was Skylar. Oh my God. Dude, the mental gymnastics that these people have to put themselves through in order to justify the illegal detention, the immorality, dehumanizing shit that these poor people are going through.
I'm just saying, there's a disconnect somewhere, and I don't know what it is, man, but I've noticed just over the hundreds of people I've interacted with. Geez, it's all the same shit. They don't know the Constitution. They don't know law in this country. They don't know basic rules. They don't know flag etiquette. Nothing. I mean, what the fuck are these people? Either they're not going to school and paying it, or they're going to school and not paying attention, or they're not going at all, or whatever the fuck. Their stupid county or farm bill or whatever gives them to teach their fucking kids that's lacking a bunch of stuff. Because I'm telling you, I don't talk to normal people out here that are dumb like these fucking idiots. These people make excuses for everything. And for you to make an excuse for a pedophile, I already tell you something's wrong with this shit.
You're already evil. Lots of plot, and you're already evil. If you're deciding
you want to talk about morals, sky turd, or whatever your fucking name was. You don't have no morals when it comes to that shit.
friends have
Fucking supporting that. Oh, support that. Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you got a couple of little girls locked up in your basement as well.
probably one of them creepy weirdos.
Fucking sick, man. I can't wait for this motherfucker to die, man. I swear, every morning I wake up, I'm like, oh God, please, Tuesday, please. I swear to God, Ankle, send it up. Send it to the heart, man.
It'll be a national holiday.
I'm going streaking. I don't give a shit. Fuck this, man. These people will make you hit PTSD.
Hey, listen to this, guys. This is funny.
It won't work because Trump cannot escape the stink that is Jeffrey Epstein, and this new scared catch-up music video essentially tells the whole story. Just watch.
Other people on other chats, like, bro, you had like literally 10 fucking years to look this shit up. Fuck. And you can't look
Sing together, la 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 la.
yeah. I mean, there's president, like, of course, that none of that is illegal.
Friends help you cure a minor. Take yourself on your jetliner. Friends do things deranged and vile and hide you down on your island. Friends help you with suicide. Then they ensure it's verified. Friends are the ones there in the end. Don't tell them no, tell them friend. When you fly with me, recline your seat. I'll get this lane to rub you. You've never had a friend like her. If you pardon her, she'll call you say. Like myself, every time files, my clients sprinkle with cries and miles. There's really nothing there to see. Just naked girls and Trump and me. Friends walk together, la 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 la, pop and lock together, pop and rock together. Me and Trump together, la la la, getting home together. Friends who visit at the spot.
Wow, there's already been
Shopping out at Mar-a-Lago. They don't want a back massage. They're steal Trump's entourage to take them down to the state islands. What the hell is this? You are the friends that you've been indicted. You've been indicted. Friends forgive you if you sue them. Jeffrey, I barely knew him. Trump knew it all, Everybody only smiles. They will miss the friends and pedophiles. Friends meet each other in Alaska. Once some kid playing, wait, I'll ask her. He knows my secrets, but won't tell them. He takes pictures, but won't sell them. He keeps them for the compromat because they prove that I love Scott. And that is why I do his bidding. Cross booty. Are you kidding? Friends, 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 friends. Friends, friends, friends.
That's pretty crazy.
Friends help you cure a mind like yourself.
But I'm like, I'm on the fence.
More screenshot. I mean, I know SOPs. Finally done.
What? Why aren't you using Scribe? Scribe literally does it for you. What? Just download Scribe, click capture, and Scribe automatically takes screenshots and writes the step-by-step guide.
Tonight, the whole country is waiting to hear the greatest band of.
The original upload of this video was removed from YouTube on 8/17 after going viral and amassing 200K views in 2 days. The offending sin of Trump and Putin providing jet skis at 443 cited as cyberbullying. That scene has been amended to comply with YouTube's guidelines and to cause slightly less fire to Mega in general. Enjoy coming now on today's program.
Get my damn. We're gonna get our damn country back, man. We ain't gonna follow this bullshit. There's too many people in this country relying upon people like us. There's too many people abroad that rely upon people like us. And I hear all the time, man, when I make comments and shit, people like, bro, what are you guys doing over there? We're having fucking flashbacks.
Well, I mean, the amount of starving kids right now, like around the world, that are just caused just from this 6 months is probably millions and millions. Just from like all the food they had to burn that went from them gutting USA, just biscuits sitting in a port, not allowed to ship. For what reason? For what reason did we have to burn all of that good food, you know, that went to feed a lot of people? And off that, off the Gaza. Cutting the whole education board, replacing it with a fucking wrestler owner, white, fucking no business in being away from here.
It was here.
PK is like, can't figure out how to get a little bit. I have some interesting news that might be relevant. I don't see anyone talking about yet. I follow the numbers, and the numbers normally be
behind this stuff, and you guys might want to look into this. Early on, I'm trying to understand what's going on, but I'm kind of hitting some dead ends, which means that you're nothing of importance or something very important. So majority from associate, including Robert Kiyosaki and some other big money people like that have led a lot of the financial structure, including targeted advertising to Republican Americans and so on for their financial services and everything else, but all at the same time, simultaneously, as of a couple hours ago, beginning the process of moving a lot of their assets out of the USA.
Really?
Sounds like a lot.
Cool video. I'm putting on the video on this loop for a while.
Why would they be doing that? I mean, historical data, the only reason people do this right before something is because there's something wrong with the country that they're in, or they're trying to do something somewhere else otherwise, but there's no just common direction that they're going. It's going different random places. The concern is it's happening all at the same time, and that these are like Trump's friends, right? These aren't just business associates. These are people that he's known for years in both real estate, business, and other stuff. That they're making these moves before you as politicians are making these moves. So,
Would this have anything you think to do with like possible crypto and the U.S. dollar crashing?
I mean, it's possible. Let me look and see if there's any connection with these guys in crypto. But I'm talking like they have loans out on most of real estate, and they're trying to move that money from those loans out of country. So, I'm gonna keep looking at it. Well, that's one of the things I was trying to figure out, because if we're abandoning them, all at the same time, then that means they all got some kind of information, or one got information sharing with their own buddies or something. That's gonna hurt something. And if it's not that, then it's really making money do something for something that doesn't happen together. But the timing of it is what's very why now? Why wait until now? I'm trying to understand what's happening.
They're going to do a U.S. dollars to rubles exchange. They go Russian, buddy, or Russian.
Well, the majority of them are using substitute with Caribbean right now, which is also not their normal way of doing it either. They're using banking system and trust from the Caribbean, which is also not their normal way of doing it. Yeah. And to clarify that, you look at Swiss banking and stuff, you need at least $5 million to open a bank account with one of the 7 major Swiss banks. A lot of people, it's not how it used to be back in the 90s. That's changed quite a bit. Whereas the Caribbean, a lot of your money that you move into the Caribbean, a lot of that gets taken in fees. These guys are trying to run the thing their style of doing it and eat in fees. That means that there's some kind of desperation in the timeline, right? Or am I overthinking? But what did they go through the other roundabout longer way and not take a 20 or 25% hit on their capital? Why
why decide the Caribbean? Why rush to do it now? And why all these guys, all of his friends and buddies within the last, 10-hour time period, right?
And I'm telling you right now, if it doesn't stop, I will be filling a.
Oh yeah, it's happened here within the last 10 hours, especially just the last 2 or 3 hours, where I'm actually starting to see these companies making these deals and doing this stuff. These are exposed to price, and that's concerning, what you were saying, for sure.
Have a hypothesis. I make myself clear.
Yes, sir. Crystal clear.
Wishful thinking.
Raise terrorist, but now he wants to go stage. Come back and see me.
Relative. There's a lot of doctors.
It's gonna be 2 weeks because that just a concept. Hoping now we'll try to Fox News. Jesus Christ. They tell me Africa's not although I think it's kind of I think the Saudis though it's over. He's acting like a big crowd. He hates a big couch because it's kind of a big that is the human cosplay. It's this great. She's getting so enthusiastic.
Look at his eyes. His eyes are so. Look at the bag he's got, man. He's a puppy or shit right now. Like, oh man, what's that in your lips? Like, dang, bro, your eyes are puppier than hell. Like, so, like they're pumping them with some, maybe some meds or something. I don't know. Shit or whatever. What if it's the orange? What if it's the orange break-in and coffee? One movie I canceled. Finally caught up in stage 4.
Like, just think about it. Like, they got all I know it's all.
Watch Fox News from the White House. Hey, there's my spouse. Because I was trying to okay, all you do is bring that just watch it first. I think the word is reproducing. And when I begin on my orange can, just on my face, hey, I was looking tail and insane. It's in the Epstein armor.
Now,
Always make me think the wrong way. I'm the kind of guy that sleeps at a funeral. Came from my pants, you soon will. I have a tendency to try Praise the terrorist, and now he wants to go.
a lot of ways.
And why won't this country come back and see you? But everything was over 2 weeks because that was just a concept. Okay, people, I don't want to see any comments on this video about my little hands. You hear me? They're actually much bigger than they look. This is just a camera angle.
I think maybe that's on the extreme side for sure, but what you said makes me only worried for what about all the Americans, like everybody in the States, like these guys are leaving, what did that say? I think it was JS said last time, start the problem starts from the top and works its way down. So how is this gonna play out if these guys are stay on lead? If it is going to stay on lead, or if it's the plan still why move the money to the Caribbean and take that extra hit financially when they avoid it? If it wasn't for cartel and go way fast, it's something, is it possible something could change the tariffs? That could be why they are choosing the Caribbean and why should they rush for it then? It feels really rushed compared to the usual things. The way that things happen is these guys normally have the information way ahead of time and plan this stuff out. Like they're being super organized usually. So maybe you're right. Maybe you
Or it could be they're moving that stuff in there for tax advantages.
A lot of them are getting rich. Could be a possibility too.
Let's see. Hold on a second here. See, why would big money start? Why would big money start moving money into offshore accounts to the Caribbean? And then it spit out. Or just re-spit something out. but it's talking like see Cayman Islands, Virgin Islands, Bahamas, etc. Could be for
Call of Diddy. Call of
tax
Diddy.
advantage purposes, just considering the fact that they would pay little to probably no tax based off of being a non-resident or something like that.
But wouldn't they do that through more of a business structure and like plan that out instead of moving the money and taking that financial hit up front? Like generally, if you're doing large businesses and corporate bail, you would plan that out and you make your business grow, that business or have your management business in the Caribbean. You wouldn't just start moving your money straight and taking the hit. So then there's got to be a timeline thing that's making this deep, right? Where they have so much money they don't care. Or, I mean, that's what's concerning is that it's happening and all these guys all at the same time. I mean, another person just added to the list here. I'm looking at these right now, and like, who are they? Like, what, like one?
Melania.
Or like, what's the name of like one of it or a company? Or
We got to go back.
Yeah, so I can give you a few here. Robert Kiyosaki, Thomas Barrett, Jorge Perez, Steve Feinberg. I mean, this list goes on for a little bit.
I'm an actor, a stunt person, a thespian.
These are the
trapped in a man's body. Please keep it
these were 2.6 billion.
Especially a cartoon. Think Wiley kind of.
He's an Argentine American businessman and philanthropist, article editor, chairman and CEO
One big dictators were harmed during the making of this.
the related group, Miami-based real estate development company.
Said so. Okay, that's my time. Be sure to subscribe and join this channel for that.
79.
Numerous videos, live shows, and AI outtakes. Toodles.
I get it if you're trying to use the money to, do a tax advantage thing or any of these kind of things, but to just up and say, hey, we have to all do this fast, that's what's bothering me. Otherwise, there's normally, there's a level of something corrupt is happening here, or there's this weird thing happening there, or they're all trying to do this one thing together. So you can go down a conspiracy rabbit hole. Why the numbers? Why Russia? Like that's I don't understand that why, and I know that you guys have better insight. And you need to discuss you guys with the body. Stuff, but it's making me worried. Like, so much of the billionaire game is about power, it's not about money, but they don't just decide they're going to use, a quarter of their entire capital and liquid capital for Russia and Sweden. Like that's crap. It's like they've all done it all the time. That's still a red flag. Yeah, I mean, it's getting suicidal for some of these guys because if they liquidate 25% of their liquid capital, that's going to throw off some of their business.
Hot troll summer.
Business relations, like some of the reason that these guys have these relations is because they can prove they have so much liquid capital is what allows them to continue to have their business. Wait, so I was thinking, whoa, wait. So they're moving stuff to U.S. territory, Puerto Rico, but different guy. I was gonna say, like, you cracked it, you found it. And I was so excited. I was. Oh, it's actually the problem. That's just maybe over time to that, you know. I saw a glimmer of light for a second there. You glimmer of light for a second there. For
Reading rights.
11 that are over. Yeah, there's currently 11 that are over $1 billion. That's a scary number.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few smaller ones that are moving hundreds of millions. And I'm trying to focus from big to small.
Where are you getting this data from? Where are you getting this data from?
To be more authentic and impactful writers with Grammarly's comprehensive AI writing assistance.
All right, guys.
Students brainstorm ideas faster.
Primarily focused in the Forex market and commodities market with really advanced analytics. And the way I'm finding this is based on heat maps. So I'm looking at heat maps, what's happening, where's money moving to see, okay, this big of a transfer is moving to this account or this trust or into this stock, or that there's pending orders placed on a stock or on something. When you see a large market order, that's one thing. That just I'm looking at remit order.
Red as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of limit orders being put in place. I'm seeing a lot of market activity kind of start simultaneously, and then I'm seeing these guys moving their money out of the USA, and I'm thinking, what do these guys have in common? And I start looking at the names. I'm like, holy crap, I recognize some of these names. And then it clicked. I'm like, these guys, the only people doing this right now with these large sums of money are just Trump guys. None of them are anyone else. Like they that's what they all have in common. So that to me.
Well, that signifies something's going on.
He's most likely saying that has to be
overseas so they can pay for Trump Japa.
I think you're right, though. For sure.
The timing could now signify it. I do kind of wishful thinking, but
Gaza, I mean, Gaza was like Cairo or like apartment. They just rebuilt it. Why would they decide to rush it though? Like they're losing money doing it this way. If they were patient and waited the 18 days on average that it takes to move that money, they could move that. So why not just do that and not take that massive hit?
that's interesting.
I'm keeping an eye on stuff on the heat maps right now. There's no drop in volume, but I'm seeing a lot of those limit orders that were placed. A lot of long positions that were a little lower down have just begun to vanish, which is only making me think that, okay, so a lot of the supports and a lot of these big companies are disappearing. But that doesn't indicate anything specifically. That could just be that they're waiting for things to level out or start to drop to market accumulation.
Take a look at the Gini coefficient. You can
So it's not particularly an indicator. It's definitely possible, but it's not a direct indicator.
To the top. That's why even our candidates talk about the middle class is dying. The middle class is going. Yeah, that's right. The middle has fallen out. Number one. Number two, you subjected them after this kind of thing.
How much
to a pandemic, which really shook them up. And inflation, which shook them
So
up.
leverage, the way that it's positioned, 11 billion may not make too drastic or crazy of a difference. Yeah, not too much because it's just a liquid capital. But the way that this is going to go is that for that liquid capital, a lot of that is liquid because of assets that they have. And when those assets kind of start to twiddle out, it's definitely more than 11 billion. It's something more. There's over 11 billionaires. So I think the number was closer to 50 or 60 billion, which also is still not that.
And brags about it on live TV.
Yeah.
Evangelicals. What happened? I turned water into wine. You turned scripture into a tax shelter for billionaires. I said, love your neighbor. You said, build a wall. And then handed the hammer to a guy who paid hush money to a porn star while his third wife was home with a newborn. I heal the sick for free. He tried to strip healthcare from 30 million people and called it a win. I fed the poor with loaves and fishes. He fed the rich with tax cuts and called the poor lazy. And yet, I'm the one who stopped inviting to church. Trump once held a Bible upside down in front of St. John's Church like it was a weapon. He didn't read it. He didn't open it. Pretty sure he thinks Corinthians is a hotel chain.
On the entirety of the internet that I'm digging through, at
You
least
cheered when he tear gassed protesters so he could take a photo.
it's
Then
either
you called it
nothing, and it's just a
defending
crazy
Christianity.
coincidence, and these guys don't
Let's
care about
talk
losing that
morality.
money, and they all just
You
decided
used to
fist
say
bump and
character
let's all do it
counts.
together.
Then he bragged about
Or
grabbing women by the pussy, and
something.
your response was, well, King
Right.
David was flawed too.
Hiding something like
Oh,
he-
I
or,
know
like,
David.
I think
He
what, like
wrote
what you said,
songs.
he's dying.
Trump
I think
writes
that,
mean
that's
tweets at
probably
2
number
a.m.
one
and
on the
adult
list right there.
diapers.
Like, he's
I
dying,
preached
and when he
turn the other
dies, some of
cheek.
their stuff they're doing might
He
come
said
out or
punch him in
something,
the
you know?
face and I'll pay your legal fees.
That would at least.
I said, blessed are the meek. He said, only lose.
Regardless of what they're going to, or what they may be guilty of or not, that would at least urgency, or at least somewhat explaining. And it kind of like real estate, Trump was real estate. I mean, it all ended up.
Yeah.
Breaking news, the new head of Paramount
Yeah.
telling CNN he is standing by South Park after another utterly scathing episode about the Trump administration.
And in its latest episode, they targeted a satirical eye on Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Now the Trump cabinet member known as
The
Ice
last time
Barbie
that
is
this
hitting
was
back.
going to happen in
The
U.S.
White House
history,
was one
I
thing,
just
and they
get
were
down
going to
being
agree.
put
But
together
at some
here.
point, Trump is like, I will burn this building to the ground.
This may not be all. This may not be factual. I'm gonna say this like the last time. And
South Park has never been afraid to cross the line.
So
And
the
in
last
season
time this
27,
happened was during
they aren't
the
just crossing it, they're setting it on fire.
This episode of South Park creators Ben Stone bringing in Vice President Gene Vance, Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, and TP USA founder and MAGA propagandist Charlie Kirk.
For decades, Trey Parker and Matt Stone have built their empire on mocking the untouchable, dragging celebrities, corporations, and politicians through the mud in ways that leave other shows too scared to follow. But this latest season feels different. It's sharper, meaner, almost gleefully reckless. The difference? Money and power. With Paramount signing a jaw-dropping $1.5 billion deal with Parker and Stone, the creators don't just have protection. They have a license to go nuclear. They don't need approval. They don't need advertisers to stay comfortable. They can swing at whoever they want, knowing the studio is locked in for 50 more episodes, no matter how much chaos they stir. That's why this season's attacks on Trump, Kristi Noem, and Ice feel like more than parody. They feel like a declaration of war. Unlike other comedians who might soften their jokes for fear of being canceled or sued, South Park doubles down. They go after political figures as if they're daring them to fight back. And according to reports, the White House wasn't just irritated after episode 1, they were furious. From the outside, it looks like just another roast. But fans know better. The timing, the targets, and the way they frame Trump's inner circle suggest a strategy, not random gags. South Park isn't just telling jokes anymore. They're putting powerful people in a vice grip, and the tension is building with every episode. That wasn't the whole story, because if episode 1 rattles,
Very extended joke of Trump having a teeny tiny penis. So,
when South Park mocked Trump's romance with Satan and threw in a brutal, tiny joke, it wasn't just internet chatter. It reportedly set off alarms inside the White House. Staffers weren't laughing. According to political insiders, the portrayal wasn't dismissed as comedy. It was seen as an attack. And for Trump, whose public image has always revolved around strength, dominance, and masculinity, South Park hit his deepest insecurities with precision.
You know, Paramount recently canceled big name Trump critic Stephen Colbert's show. So what about South Park? Well, today I asked the company's new CEO, David Ellison, if South Park's scathing Trump criticism is a problem for the company. Ellison indicated, no, it's not. He praised the show's creators. He told me he's been a fan of the show for decades, full opportunity offenders, and always have been.
So what did Parker and Stone do? They doubled down. Episode 2 arrived weeks later, dripping with venom and absurdity, ensuring that if Trump thought they'd back off, he was dead wrong. They didn't just mock him again, they turned his entire political orbit into a circus. Kristi Noem, J.D. Vance, Charlie Kirk, ICE agents, even Mar-a-Lago himself, all dragged into the chaos.
I think the sort of more important political context is the fact that they are talking about ICE. They are talking about ICE's recruitment efforts. They are talking about the fact that you essentially have rogue institutions that are operating without any regard for the law.
This wasn't coincidence. It was escalation. South Park doesn't randomly recycle jokes. They know how to build storylines that pile pressure on their targets. By turning Trump from a one-episode gag into a recurring humiliation, they transform satire into something closer to psychological warfare. And whether Trump lashes out publicly or stays quiet, South Park wins. His anger fuels their comedy, and his silence makes him look powerless. That's why fans call this one of the boldest plays in modern satire. Other networks cut corners or avoid controversy altogether. South Park leans in, knowing that every furious press release or angry tweet just makes the next episode hit harder. And the real lightning rod in this episode wasn't Trump himself. It was Kristi Noem.
Barbie is hitting back, denouncing South Park as, quote, lazy and petty.
If there was one figure who stole the spotlight in episode 2, it wasn't Trump. It was Kristi Noem, the so-called Ice Barbie.
A few years ago, I had to put my puppy down by shooting it in the face.
South Park zeroed in on her like a guided missile, transforming the Secretary of Homeland Security into one of the darkest caricatures the show has ever put on screen. From the opening scene, she's casually putting down puppies, bragging about it with a smile, and flaunting cruelty like it's a campaign slogan. The satire is vicious, but it's not random.
Now we'll have the same determination of you. Because the team to question people never easy. No, as the face of Homeland Security, I'm beating the ring.
Kristi Noem has carefully cultivated her image as the tough, gut-loving conservative darling, even releasing stories about personally killing her dog and goat. South Park took that headline and dialed it past 11. The puppy killing spree was more than a gag. It was a grotesque reflection of how her real-life narratives already blur the line between toughness and brutality.
Fucking monster.
She's
right. Sure, we can.
Oh.
Yeah, she can. I think she's running a fucking horrible system. It is funny we don't hesitate.
And then came the running gag that defined her entire arc. Her face, literally, falling off. Mid-speech, mid-sentence, even mid-press conference, Noem's face glides away like a cheap Halloween mask. The symbolism couldn't be clearer. South Park painting her as someone with no real foundation, no real identity, and a carefully constructed mask that keeps slipping in public. Her response only poured gasoline on the fire. After the episode aired, Noem denounced the show as lazy and petty, trying to wave it off as childish mockery. But fans know that's exactly the reaction Parker and Stone want. The more a politician tries to fight back, the funnier the episode becomes in hindsight. Suddenly, Twitter was flooded with memes of Ice Barbie, melting face edits, and puppy jokes. But that wasn't the whole story, because the real punchline wasn't Noem herself. It was the institution she was leading, ICE.
And having to be reattached by her employees. Wow. That was perfect.
South Park's portrayal of ICE in this episode is nothing short of savage. Instead of being depicted as a serious law enforcement agency, ICE becomes a running joke, a desperate employer willing to hand a badge to literally anyone. The perfect example, Mr. Mackey.
What makes you want to work for immigration enforcement? Oh, well, you see, I got none. All right, your honor, takes you to the next station for your physical and orientation visit. That's it?
After losing his longtime job as the school counselor due to budget cuts, Mackey walks into ICE headquarters, gives a half-hearted excuse, and gets hired on the spot. No vetting, no training, not even a background check, just a shrug and a uniform. The gag doesn't stop there. South Park even resurrects a fan favorite character from the past, the overweight gamer from the Make Love Not Warcraft episode. This time, he's not in a basement. He's in an ICE uniform. The implication is brutal. If you can sit in front of a screen and move your fingers, you're qualified for immigration enforcement. It's parody, but with teeth. For years, critics have accused ICE of reckless raids, untrained hires, and questionable judgment in enforcement. South Park condenses all those criticisms into absurd comedy, transforming ICE from a weird agency into a punchline. And the coolest twist, Trump himself is shown cheering them on from the sidelines, grinning like a fanboy, leaning on the chaos. South Park makes it clear that ICE's absurdity isn't a bug. It's the feature Trump loves most. But that wasn't the whole story, because once ICE was turned into a carnival, South Park went straight for Trump's golden palace, Mar-a-Lago. If South Park wanted to humiliate Trump in the most personal way possible, they picked the perfect setting, Mar-a-Lago. The episode paints his resort not as a luxury estate, but as a tacky, gold-plated circus overflowing with grotesque excess. Every hallway drips with Epstein references. Every room oozes absurdity. And then comes the punch that made headlines, the extended tiny gag. Trump is once again mocked in the most personal, humiliating way imaginable, with graphic jokes that stretch far beyond a quick punchline. For most comedians, this would be career suicide. For Parker and Stone, it's Tuesday. The satire cuts deep because it's not just random insults. South Park builds an entire visual world where Trump isn't the feared former president. He's the butt of the joke, a clown surrounded by chaos. His approval of ICE, his obsession with appearances, even his desperate clinging to power, all of it gets flipped into comedy that makes him look weak. And that's what South Park does better than anyone else. They don't just mock a politician's policies, they dismantle their image. In Trump's case, that image has always been larger than life, built on dominance, wealth, and control. South Park.
That's the money on the store. There have been 7 times martial law has been declared. The last time was officially during COVID. Whenever the USA was put into the state of emergency, martial law was declared. National Guard was deployed to all major cities in the United States. The markets took an effect, but that's COVID, so that doesn't particularly say anything there.